Well, happy Friday, guys. And today we are going to be talking about how to deal with difficult family members. But before I get started, you know what I need you to do. I need you to like, subscribe, share, and follow. And do it in that order for me so that we can grow this page and we can get some things going on. All right? All right, let's get into it. All right, let's get started. Number one, I want you to learn how to choose your boundaries and make them clear. Listen, there are some people in your life and in your family, could be somebody you're married to, could be your kids, it could be anybody. And they're a little difficult. You need to have clear boundaries, okay? When we're hanging out, don't you put a drink to your mouth, because you turn into somebody else. I don't want to see it smell a little funny cigarettes. I'm out of here. Hey, I don't have a problem talking and laughing, but what we're not going to do is go here. And I notice a lot of people have had to do that as far as political, things. It's like, hey, we cool, but no, I don't want no politics. I don't even want to talk about religion. If you got somebody that's very argumentative and they're always difficult to deal with, be clear. These areas we're not going to touch. I had a friend, and I'll never forget, she was talking to me about her relationship. And I gave her advice. You asked. She didn't like it. Oh, she went off. And I said, pause. Don't ever bring this up if you don't really want me to talk about it. Because what I'm not going to do is be attacked when you ask me what I felt. Okay? So I had to set clear about this area. We ain't going to talk about no more. Then she had to come back and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. But I had to set a clear boundary. So make sure that you have a clear boundary on what's appropriate and what's a deal breaker. Number two, stay calm and avoid emotional outbursts and reaction. Listen, when somebody is like talking crazy in your face, baby, that can be trying. And you're sitting there and you're taking it in. Right? So you're going to have to learn how to avoid outbursts. So let me tell you what you're going to have to do. First of all, you need to know that person. All right. You already know that if this person gets alcohol, they trip out. You also know that the majority of the time they got to work up. So they're going to start with some area to give them the courage to launch so they can get into that mode. Right. So when you see them hyping it up, all right, baby, I love you so much. I got to go. Right. You're going to have to stay calm, but see it. Once you see it, then you can be like, you know what? I got something I got to do, right? So stay calm. Don't react. The Bible always says he'll make a way of escape. Baby, recognize when it's time to take the way of escape, all right? So stay calm and don't react emotionally. Remove yourself before it gets to that place. All right, 3, let's deal with empathy and being understanding. There are some people in your life that are going through some crazy stuff, and the crazy stuff got them acting crazy. So what do you need to do? Practice trying to first of all, see if you can understand it. If you're dealing with somebody that's lost a loved one, they may be all over the place. And being able to deal with that, it's going to take some patience, because some days they crying, some days they happy, some days they depressed, some days they mad at God. And you have to be able to go through those ups and downs. That's a part of grief. People grieve over more than just loved ones. It could be jobs, it could be vehicle, it could be losing a house. So when you're dealing with that, try to be understanding. I always think about my emotions of how I felt when I lost my father. That helps me to remember that I'm dealing with the heart of someone. I'm dealing with emotion, and I need to give them empathy, because that's not who that person, especially if that's not who they normally are, and they're not taking baths and they're not eating and all that stuff. Try to understand, even if you've never experienced it. Give them empathy, because sometimes they just need to feel that someone cares. Number 4 is quite simple. Focus on the solution, not the problem. A lot of times when people get in dysfunction and they've gone through some stuff and they've been in this problem for a while, they are stuck there. They're in like a loop on the computer, right? They're going round and round in the same spot, right? But you need to try to figure out a way that you can break that, interrupt that, and then get their mind focused on the solution. Now, that may take a moment to do, because they've had to live in that. And you'll hear them say, you don't understand, because you ain't never had to experience it, blah, 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 right? It's understandable. Dysfunction has a whole bit behavior and dialect. So you have to be able to get past the dialect and then try to keep putting it. All right, well, baby, we can't fix this until we start focusing on that. So learn how to focus on the solution and take them out of that cycle of the problem. Baby, number 5, let's go. Choose your battles wisely. Babies, listen to your girl, okay? There are so many times that we get into arguments that we do not have to be in, right? You have to start telling people, listen, these are some areas we're not even going to get into, okay? We're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about religion. We're not going to talk about certain family members that everybody can't stand. We're not doing that. We're not going into none of those areas. But what we are going to do is we're going to have a good time. And then if it gets, that's, know the things that they ain't going to be good talking about. And if it does happen to go that direction, you don't have to respond just because they said something. Do you know how much people get mad at me? Half the time, I don't even know they said them because I just don't care. My thing was, if you got something to say, knock on my door. Ain't nobody gonna knock on this door. So I don't focus on that. But, when somebody's in your face and they talking crazy and I'm finna say this and I'm finna let. Baby, ain't that serious. Learn the way of escape and get up out of there. Don't explode. Don't go off. If it ain't worth it. Now, like if you're dealing with a situation with your kids, okay, those are some things you have to intervene. Those are my words. Intervene. But other than that, a lot of that stuff ain't worth it. All right. So dealing with family members is hard. You got to love people for who they are. But you also, to be able to have healthy behavior, you just need to know what to do in those situations and when to remove yourself. People always say that God wants you to love your family. He does. But there are some people that you just can't be close to. And you have to love them from a distance. Ask how they're doing. If you are that close and y'all can go see each other, you go see each other once in a while. You're doing that to protect yourself because it's best for you to love them. And then you can even stay there long. Why? Because there's behavior there. There's some unsafe things there that if it get too quick, it could pop off. So, know what you're dealing with. It's okay if you have to remove yourself. It's okay if you have to cut some people off. Sometimes you have to do that. Why? For your emotional and mental health. Understand that. Okay? God is not expecting you to be sitting up there and people just abusing you mentally and emotionally and you just taking it. I'm doing it for the will of the Lord. That ain't God's will. He don't expect you to do that. You love them. He expects you to love them. But you ain't got to be laying on their lap, licking on their face and being, baby, no. Understand it, all right? That is how you can deal with those awful, hard to deal with family members, all right? You guys have a happy Friday. Y'all ain't done seeing my face today, but for right now, I'm done. Bye.